learning objectives. By the end of this topic, you will be able to define a computer, summarize the uses of computers, interpret types of computers, explain the generations of computer, distinguish computer hardware and computer software, differentiate between input and output devices, list the parts of a computer.
Hello friends, my name is Chinky. Here is my friend Toggle.
Hi everybody.
We are here to help you out to learn about computers.
Do you know what is a computer? Chinky, have you ever seen it?
I don't know what is a computer exactly, but I have seen it, Toggle, and heard that it is a smart machine.
Yes, it is, Chinky.
What is a machine?
Well, Chinky, machines are man-made things, and see, this is a computer. Remember two important things about a computer, Chinky. The first thing is that a computer is a machine. The second is that it uses electricity. We use many types of machines in our daily life.
Tell me about some of the machines that we use daily.
In our daily life, we use television, fan, bicycle, etc. This is a television. It is a machine. It uses electricity. This is a fan. It is a machine. It uses electricity. This is a bicycle. It is a machine, but it does not use electricity.
So, what I understand is that machines make our work easier. Is it so, Toggle?
Yes, absolutely, Chinky. It makes our work easier and can do our work in less time. It can do many things quickly and accurately without making any mistakes.
Oh, that's so great, Toggle. But how is it possible for a computer to do so many things without making any mistakes?
Chinky, a computer is an electronic machine that manipulates information or data. It has the ability to store, retrieve, and process data. It is designed in such a way that it can do multiple tasks at the same time without making any mistakes.
Does not the computer get tired like humans while working?
No, Chinky, as the computer is a machine, it never gets tired or bored like humans by doing the same thing or many things at the same time.
So maybe that's why the computer is said to be a special and smart machine.
Yes, Chinky, the computer is very fast, accurate, intelligent, and can do many tasks at the same time. It is called a special and smart machine.
Tell me some of the things that a computer can do.
A computer can be used to solve arithmetic problems. It helps us to listen to music. It helps us to play games. It helps us to write and also to draw pictures. Besides these things, a computer can remember a lot of things. It can also check the spellings of words. It also helps in finding information. It helps to get digital photos from our cameras besides other things.
Wow! So many things! Does that mean a computer is superior to humans, Toggle?
No, Chinky, a computer is not superior to humans, as it is a machine and cannot take decisions on its own.
Tell me something more. How is a computer different from a human being?
Let me give you some points from which you will know that a computer is different from a human being. The below table shows the differences between humans and computers.
Thank you, Toggle. Now I know the difference between a human being and a computer. Toggle, I have seen that the computer in schools are large and kept on tables. I have also seen Dad using a small computer which he just placed on his lap and he carries with him to his office.
Yes, Chinky, computers are of different shapes and sizes. The computers which are at your school and kept on the desk are called desktop computers. These computers are not carried from one place to another. They are mostly used in offices, schools, or at home. A small computer that you have seen with your dad is called a laptop computer. They look like small briefcases. People can carry laptops with them while they are traveling. Nowadays, the latest improved models of laptops are called notebooks. They are lighter in weight when compared to laptops. The average notebook weighs about 3 to 4 kilograms. There are some even smaller computers which we can hold in our hand or put them inside our pockets. They are called palm-top computers.
Functionalities of a computer. The computers have four basic functions. They are input, storage, processing, and output. The input receives the information given by the user. The storage is used to store the data. The processing manipulates the data in the user required format. The output provides the user with information. Computer is a programmable electronic device designed to accept data, perform prescribed mathematical and logical operations at high speed, and display the results of these operations. Advantages and disadvantages of computers. Advantages of a computer. Computers speed up the work efficiency. Work that can take days to complete manually can be done in a few minutes using a computer. They process trillions of instructions within a second. Computers can store huge volumes of data. Any type of data like videos, games, applications, documents, etc. can be stored in large amount. Computers allow us to connect to the internet. With this, we can communicate faster with people across the world. It also allows us to send email, hold voice and video calls, etc. The paperwork and paper usage in organizations have been reduced with the use of computers for data processing. The computers also help in speeding up the process. Disadvantages of a computer. The improper or extended usage of computers may lead to number of health problems like disorders or injuries of the elbow, wrist, neck, back, and also can cause dry eyes. Using internet on our computers also leads to the risk of leaking our private information. Trojans and malware give identity thieves to access our personal information. We need to install antivirus software to get rid of this. Avoid clicking on suspicious looking links when using the internet. The computer waste and computer junk are harmful to the environment. Harmful chemicals like lead and mercury are released, which results in cancer and radiation diseases. Disposed computers cause fire. The data which is stored in the computers can be lost or manipulated in many ways. Hackers gain access to our computers and crash all the data. So we always need to maintain a backup for all the data and also take some measures to protect our data from hackers.
History and generation of computers.
Toggle, nowadays the computer has become a basic necessity. I wonder what life would have been without computers.
Yes, Chinky, it has become almost a basic necessity in our daily life. But there was a time when there were no computers.
I know it is a modern invention. Can you tell me how it all began?
Well, it is a long story. The word computer is derived from the Latin term computere, which means to calculate. Computers are versatile calculating machines that can handle multiple tasks at the same time. To know about the history of computers, we have to go back to the days when people used the abacus to calculate complex sums.
The abacus. Do you mean the abacus that we have used during our kindergarten days?
Yes, Chinky, the instrument that you used to calculate sums during the first day of school. You know, the abacus is probably the first counting device. It was invented by the Chinese.
Tell me more about the abacus.
Abacus is a simple device for performing mathematical calculations. It is the fifth invention of ancient China. The abacus can perform addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. It can also be used to obtain square roots and cubic roots. Do you remember what an abacus looks like, Chinky?
Yes, Toggle. It is made of a wooden frame with rods each having beads.
That's right. An abacus is made up of a wooden frame divided into two parts separated by a beam, with an upper deck of 2 rows of beads and a lower deck of 5 rows of beads. A series of vertical rods allows the wooden beads to slide freely. Heaven was the upper part and earth was the lower one. Thus any number can be represented by placing the beads at a proper place. Let us now discuss the Pascaline.
The Pascaline. What is it, Toggle?
The Pascaline is the first mechanical calculator in the world.
Why is it called Pascaline?
A French mathematician called Blaise Pascal invented the Pascaline in 1642, and so it is named after him.
How does it work?
The Pascaline was a wooden box that could only add and subtract by means of a series of gears and wheels. When each wheel made one revolution, it would then turn the neighboring wheel. On top of the wheels were a series of windows through which the totals could be read. About 50 models were constructed and were made of wood, ivory, ebony, and copper. Meters that are used in taxis are examples of Pascaline. Do you know who is the father of the computer?
No, Toggle.
Charles Babbage is known as the father of computer.
Who was Charles Babbage?
Charles Babbage was a British mathematician who designed a mechanical computing machine called the analytical engine in between 1833 and 1871. He is the one who introduced the idea of storing and reading the information before processing. All the modern computers are based on this concept.
What is the analytical engine, Toggle?
The analytical engine is a machine powered by a huge steam engine. It can handle a large amount of data and process them at a high speed. Let us now discuss the tabulating machine.
The tabulating machine?
Yes. In 1888, Herman Hollerith, an American statistician, invented a machine called tabulating machine that uses electricity to run. That was the first time when data was stored successfully in an electronic device.
What does that machine do?
The tabulating machine was capable of reading both numbers and characters and giving output of process as per the desired format. Data were entered into the computer by using punched code with a combination of holes called codes. Now let me tell you about Eniac and Univac.
What are these, Toggle? Eniac and Univac.
ENIAC stands for Electronic Numerical Integrator and Calculator. Two American scientists called John W. Markley and John Presper Eckert designed this machine in 1946.
How was the Eniac different from the earlier machines?
Unlike the earlier machines, the ENIAC used a word of 10 decimal digits instead of binary ones. It was the first high-speed electronic digital computer.
What about the Univac then?
Univac is an acronym for Universal Automatic Computer. It was developed by J. Presper Eckert and John Markley, the inventors of the ENIAC. Univac was the first successful commercial computer. It could work with both numerical and textual data. Let us now learn how the modern computers developed generation by generation. Chinky, do you know what the first generation computers are?
No idea, Toggle.
The computers that were developed during the period of 1941 to 1956 are called the first generation computers. The first generation computers used vacuum tubes for circuitry and magnetic drums for memory and were often enormous, taking up entire rooms. They were very expensive and in addition used to consume more electricity and used to generate a lot of heat, which often caused malfunctions. The Univac and ENIAC computers are the examples of first generation computing devices. First generation computers relied on machine language, the lowest level programming language understood by computers, to perform operations, and they could only solve one problem at a time. Input was based on punched cards and paper tape, and output was displayed on printouts.
Oh!
Let us learn about the second generation computers. The computers that were developed during the period 1956 to 1963 are called second generation computers.
What is the difference between the first generation computers and the second generation computers?
Transistors replaced vacuum tubes and ushered in the second generation of computers. The transistor was far superior to the vacuum tube, allowing computers to become smaller, faster, cheaper, more energy efficient, and more reliable than their first generation predecessors.
What are the advantages of the second generation computers?
These were smaller when compared to the first generation computers. The computational time of these computers was reduced from milliseconds to microseconds. These were more reliable and less prone to hardware failure. Hence, they required less frequent maintenance. These were more portable and generated less amount of heat. Programming became more time efficient and less cumbersome.
Is it, Toggle?
Yes, Chinky. PDP-8, IBM 1401 and IBM 7090 are examples of second generation computers. Second generation computers moved from cryptic binary machine language to symbolic or assembly languages, which allowed programmers to specify instructions in words.
Is it? Are there any other generations, Toggle?
Yes, Chinky. The period from 1964 to early 1970s is the period of the third generation computers. The development of the integrated circuit was the hallmark of the third generation of computers. Transistors were miniatured and placed on silicon chips called semiconductors, which drastically increased the speed and efficiency of computers. Instead of punched cards and printouts, users interacted with third-generation computers through keyboards and monitors and interfaced with an operating system which allowed the device to run many different applications at one time with the fourth trail program that monitored the memory. The third-generation computers used high-level programming languages. IBM 1130 and Univac 1107 are the examples of third-generation computers.
Are the computers that we use today the third-generation computers?
No, Chinky, today we use fourth-generation computers. The computers that are being developed from 1971 till the present time are called the fourth-generation computers. Fourth generation is an elaboration of third-generation technology. The fourth-generation computers use microchips. 0 and 1 were coded to do arithmetical operations. They are called binary numbers. The fourth-generation computers are fast and efficient and so are widely in use. Fourth-generation computers also saw the development of GUIs, the mouse and joysticks, etc. As these small computers became more powerful, they could be linked together to form networks, which eventually led to the development of the Internet. The fourth-generation computers use high-level programming languages. Apple II, Altair 8800 and Crave 1 are the examples of fourth-generation computers.
Is there any further development of computers?
Yes, Chinky. Fifth-generation computers are in the developmental stage, which is based on artificial intelligence. The goal of the fifth generation is to develop a device which could respond to natural language input and is capable of learning and self-organization. They are called supercomputers.
Why are they called supercomputers?
Supercomputers have a very large storage capacity as well as a very fast input or output capability. A supercomputer has many CPUs connected together and can carry out a large number of scientific operations in a very short interval of time. Scientists are now trying to develop supercomputers in a way that they can think on their own. This is called artificial intelligence. Robots work on this technology. So, Chinky, this was about the generation of computers.
Thank you, Toggle. Now I have gained knowledge of the basics and generation of computers as well.
Parts of a computer.
Toggle, I know how a computer is evolved, but please let me know what a computer is made of.
Yeah, sure, Chinky. A computer is made of hardware and software.
What do hardware and software refer to?
Hardware refers to the parts of a computer that you can touch or feel. The CPU, monitor, keyboard, mouse are the examples of computer hardware.
Oh, is it? What is software then?
Software refers to a set of programs that perform some tasks in a computer. When you start your computer, the software also starts with it. Some of the popular softwares are MS Windows, MS Office, WinZip, CorelDRAW and Adobe Photoshop.
What are input and output devices, Toggle?
Computer devices that input information in the computer are known as input devices. Examples of input devices are keyboard, mouse, scanner, digital camera, etc. Computer devices that output information from the computer are known as output devices. Examples of output devices are monitor, printer, projector, etc.
Toggle, look at all these electronic equipments. I wonder what they are used for.
Chinky, all these are different parts of a computer.
What? I thought only the keyboard, mouse, CPU and the monitor are the parts of a computer.
Actually, the keyboard, the mouse, the CPU and the monitor are the main parts of a computer. These are the sum of the parts of the computer.
Oh, really? Can you tell me what these parts are used for?
Sure, Chinky. First, I will tell you what the main parts of a computer used for.
Yes, please.
I will start with the monitor. The computer screen is called a monitor. The monitor is also known as VDU, which stands for Visual Display Unit. It looks like a television. The monitor displays whatever we draw with the mouse. We can also watch movies or play games on the monitor.
Look, Toggle. These monitors look different from each other.
Yes, Chinky, monitors come in different shapes and sizes. There are basically two different types of monitors, CRT and LCD. And this is the keyboard.
Yes, I know that. The keyboard is used for typing text, numbers and special characters on the computer.
Yes, Chinky, a keyboard is a device that consists of a number of buttons known as keys. Different keys have different functions.
Yes, I remember that a standard keyboard has 104 keys.
Very right, Chinky. Let us now discuss the mouse. The mouse is usually known as the pointing device.
Yes, Toggle, I know that the mouse helps us to point at things on the computer monitor.
Right, Chinky. The most commonly used mouse is the scroll mouse that has two buttons and a scroll wheel at the center. Earlier, mouse devices had a ball at the bottom to track the movement of the mouse on the surface. In the present days, the most commonly used mouse is an optical mouse which has a light at the bottom. Instead of a ball, it has a light source at the bottom to sense movement and has 2 or 3 buttons on top. The important actions of mouse are click, double click, right click and drag and drop. Nowadays, wireless mouse is also available.
What is CPU, Toggle?
This is a system unit, Chinky. It is the core of a computer system. Usually, it's a rectangular box placed on or underneath your desk. Inside this box are many electronic components that process information. The most important of these components is the CPU or microprocessor. Almost every other part of your computer connects to the system unit using cables.
Okay. What does the CPU stand for, Toggle?
CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. It controls all the functions of a computer. Thus, the CPU is also called the brain of the computer. Whatever is typed through the keyboard or done with the mouse goes to the CPU. The CPU processes it and displays the results on the monitor.
Okay. So these are the main parts of the computer. Now, can you tell me what all those devices are used for, Toggle?
Sure, Chinky. These are the speakers. They are used to play sound. They can be built into the system unit or connected with cables. Speakers allow you to listen to music and hear sound effects from your computer.
And these?
These are headphones. Headphones help us to hear sound generated by a computer without disturbing others.
Is this a printer, Toggle?
Yes, Chinky, this is a printer. It is used for printing the work done on a computer on a sheet of paper. You don't need a printer to use your computer, but having one allows you to print email, cards, invitations, announcements, and other material. Some printers print only in black and white, while others print in color. Many people also like being able to print their own photos at home.
What is this device, Toggle?
This is a scanner. It can read words, pictures, or numbers printed on a sheet of paper and changes them into a form that a computer can understand.
This is an UPS, right?
Yes, it is an UPS. UPS is an acronym for Uninterrupted Power Supply. Inside it, it has a battery which stores electrical power. If there is a sudden power cut, the UPS keeps the computer on for a few minutes.
Oh, which means we can save our work that we are doing with the help of the UPS.
Yes, Chinky.
Hey Toggle, look at that. I have seen this device earlier.
Yes, Chinky, that is a microphone.
How is it used in a computer?
A microphone is used to record voice, music, and sound into the computer. It is sometimes called a mic or mic.
Hey, I knew that. It is a joystick, isn't it, Toggle?
Yes, that is a joystick. It is used to control movement of objects on a computer. It is used for playing games on a computer.
What is this object, Toggle?
That is a modem. To connect your computer to the internet, you need a modem. A modem is a device that sends and receives computer information over a telephone line or high-speed cable. Modems are sometimes built into the system unit, but higher-speed modems are usually separate components.
Oh, then what about this?
That is a web camera. It is used to capture pictures and video images from outside and store them into the computer. It is simply referred to as webcam. Now that we come to the end of the parts displayed here, I hope you will remember all these devices.
Yes, Toggle. Now I know so much about the different devices used with a computer. Thanks again for your help, Toggle.
Let us do a small activity on drag and drop.
Applications of computer. Business. In most of the business organizations, computers are used for calculations, budgeting, analysis of sales, employee database management, stock maintenance, etc. Banking. The banking sectors also use computers for online accounting facility. With this, we can check deposits, deductions, transactions, etc. online. Banks also maintain records, database, etc. in computers. Education. Nowadays, the education had become computer-based education, CBE. Many educational institutions use computers in different methods to provide education for their students. Marketing. The computers are also used for advertising and shopping. We can publish advertisements in many ways using computers. Various online shopping websites are also available where we can buy the things online. Healthcare. Healthcare systems are also updated with latest technology, and computers are used in hospitals to keep the records of patients, their health and medicines. Scanning, diagnosing, ECG, EEG, ultrasounds and CT scans, etc. are also done by computerized machines. Engineering design. Computers are also used by engineers in designing their projects. Computer-aided design CAD provides creation and modification of images. Communication. With the usage of computers, communication became very easy. Using internet, we can interact with the people anytime throughout the world. We can receive and send the messages within fraction of seconds. Types of computers. Computers are broadly classified by their speed and computing power. PC, personal computer. Workstation, mini computer. Mainframe, supercomputer. Click each tab to know more. PC, personal computer. A small general-purpose computer that is created to be utilized by one person at a time. The size and capabilities of the computer allow it to be operated by an individual for personal purposes and can be a desktop or laptop device. Workstation. A workstation is a computer intended for individual use that is faster and more capable than a personal computer. It's intended for business or professional use rather than home or recreational use. Mini computer. A mini computer is designed to handle intensive and complex computational tasks, supports a large number of users, and make use of large volumes of secondary storage. Mini computers commonly are networked and share computational tasks in a distributed processing architecture. Mainframe. A very large and expensive computer is capable of supporting hundreds or even thousands of users simultaneously. In some ways, mainframes are more powerful than supercomputers because they support more simultaneous programs. But supercomputers can execute a single program faster than a mainframe. Supercomputer. A supercomputer is typically used for scientific and engineering applications that must handle very large databases or do a great amount of computation. The main difference between a supercomputer and a mainframe is that a supercomputer channels all its power into executing a few programs as fast as possible, whereas a mainframe uses its power to execute many programs concurrently.
Summary. Let's summarize the topic. A computer is an electronic machine that manipulates information or data. It has the ability to store, retrieve, and process data. The word computer is derived from the Latin term computere, which means to calculate. Computers are versatile calculating machines that can handle multiple tasks at the same time. Charles Babbage is the father of computer. The first generation computers used vacuum tubes for circuitry and magnetic drums for memory and were often enormous, taking up entire rooms. Transistors replaced vacuum tubes and ushered in the second generation of computers. Second generation computers moved from cryptic binary machine language to assembly languages, which allowed programmers to specify instructions in words. The third generation computers used high-level programming languages. The 4th generation computers use microchips. 5th generation computers are in the developmental stage, which is based on artificial intelligence. The CPU, monitor, keyboard, mouse, printer, scanner, and microphone are the examples of computer hardware. Computer devices that input information in the computer are known as input devices. Computer devices that output information from the computer are known as output devices. Test your understanding of the chapter by taking the mock unit test.